Artefactors Union, the Unconventional Tactics title box. We're going to be starting with the Clampetts title, Bally-Hoo Bucket. Here is the artwork. Here's the render. Here's our sprue. This is going to be long and involved, and there's going to be one really difficult piece to put in, but if you could do the steps right, you should have an okay time. Alright, fast rundown how we're doing this. We're going to grab the seat and glue it to the deck, grab Ma's legs and her torso, put those on the seat, then add her hair. Glue the back, which also connects to the hair, do the steering wheel, put her arms on that, then grab this part of the whole of the ship, install this, which is the very hardest part of this, then add this as well to what we had made, which should pretty much be the entire body of the ship. Then we will go ahead and assemble most of pot, clamp it on there, put the wheels on, and then do the child last, as well as the fishing line. Here we have H10. The deck of the Bally-Hoo bucket is going to glue right along here. Here is H9 attached. Next will be Ma's legs, which the feet will go there, and her butt will go there. H13, Ma's legs and butt. H12 is her torso. She should have a pretty heavy lean to her. H14 is her hair. Don't worry too much about the angle of it because this part right here is going to attach to this part of the chair backing. H6, the chair back and smokestack. That's how the hair should be attached. The ship wheel will go right here. H16, the wheel, go ahead and remember that the hand goes on this side. H17 is Ma's right arm. You should attach it at the shoulder, get the wrist more or less close to where it should be, and then the wheel should not be set enough where it's solid so you can wiggle that into place. Alright, might be hard to see, but the left arm attaches here at the shoulder, and then there is a space for the hand and handle thing on the wheel there. H18, the left arm. It'll take a little fiddling with the tweezers, but you can get it. Alright, cut out H1 and H5. And you can see where I tried to force it one last time before saying that you're going to have to cut off this little bit here. There is just the tiniest line that you can sort of see. Don't go past that line. In fact, go in front of it and see if you can snap it in. Okay, we're looking at the front part of this axle thing here. The line in the middle is thinner than it is on this side. You're going to take it and thread it through like that. Okay. Now get plenty of glue in the center on both sides, and you're going to go and twist it, and then push it over to that side, and as far as possible. This is what you're looking for. Now combine it with all of our progress from before, and H2, the other half of the whole. And in part 2, we'll do Pa, the wheels, and Junior. Part 2 of assembling the Bally-Hoo book, and we're going to change my order around a little bit. We're going to start with Junior, the gremlin poking his head out of this window up here. Once he's on, we'll do all the wheels, and we'll put Pod together all by himself, and then add him onto the deck of the ship last. First, add H15, the Junior's head, in there. H11 will go in above it, just make sure that Junior's hand is on the bottom side. Nice and pretty. H7 and H8 are our front wheels. Note that the connection points are different shapes. This has a notch, and this has sort of a flat side. Notch. And flat side. H7, H8. Same for the back wheels. This one has a slightly thicker notch there, and this one has a slightly thinner one. Thicker, thinner. H3 and H4. Let's build ourselves a daddy. Start with H19. Add H24, the stepping leg. H20, the head goes where a head goes. H23, the peeping arm. H21, the pull arm. And H22, this part right here, connects to right here on the fishing pole. And there it is attached. Pa's right foot is going to go down in there, and his left foot is going to sit on the edge of the hole right there. And it will just be the heel, though, that's glued on. The Clampetts Bally-Hoo bucket is done. Congratulations, you have built a tractor. Yeah, lots of pieces, and getting the order right might be a bit confusing for some, but follow this guide. Should do fine. That front axle was just really difficult to figure out, but I think I got it. It looks good, so I think that's how you're supposed to do it. Have fun. Artefactors Union, Unconventional Tactics title box. We're going to be working on Judd and Honey. This lovely couple right here. Judd being the gremlin and Honey being the Hwacha. Here's the render. Here's our cute little sprue. We're going to go ahead and build the frame of the Hwacha first, so I think these 4 pieces are it. Stack the shooty stabby rockets on top of it. Add the wheels. And then the firing mechanism, last but not least, Judd slapped on top, put the back of his coat on and his head. Start with G2, we're looking at the back side of it. If you turn this to the profile, you see this sort of tooth here. That'll be on the back side of the frame. And we're going to go ahead and connect the rest of the bits of the frame to it. Okay, this is G1, this is going to be the left side of our frame. We know it is the left side because it has this notch on top, which the firing mechanism is supposed to be attached to. And you can also tell that this is the top because our previous piece will glue here, the overlap. So, here it is combined. As G3, you can also tell the top by this connection point right here. That will connect to the frame. And here they are both attached. And G4, the final side of the frame, we're looking at the front because the back has the 2 connection points. That glue here and here. And here's the whole frame. G6 is the top part of our launchers. G5, the other part is just going to jam in there, just make sure the arrows are pointing the same way. Cool, now it's going to connect to the frame along these 6 notches up here, matching to these 6 notches on the frame. Huzzah! G7, the firing or loading mechanism, is going to fit right in there with the crank on top and facing out. Like so. Whoops. The wheels have unique connection points. You see bigger square, smaller rectangle, bigger square, smaller rectangle, G9, bigger square, G8, smaller rectangle. And though we're done with Honey, it's up to our man Judd. He's got 3 connection points to the rest of the model. It's here, 1, here, 2, and here, 3. Here is 1, 2 is this little notch in the tire, and 3 is completing the rest of this barrel. There he is. G12 is the rest of his coat, which goes right there. G12, the flappy flap. And say it with me, the head goes where heads go. G11, the head. Judd and Honey, all done. Actually not that difficult of a build, pretty easy. The hardest part was just figuring out what side was left and right and what part was up on the frame. But once that got situated, the rest of it went together real smoothly. Artefactors Union, Unconventional Tactics. We are finishing it up with Tull, Dead Silent. Here is the artwork, and here is the render. Here's our sprue. Seems pretty simple, so we're just going to jump right into it. F10. I just add F9 the other half. There we go. Tull, Dead Silent. Done. Pretty easy build. Alright, so I've been informed that this is in fact Tull, and this is A1 Sergeant Walter. My bad. Easy mistake to make. Here's the render of, I guess, both of them on the same sprue. So we'll go ahead and do the boring part of the model. Grab the center part of the torso, do either side of the coat, slap both legs on him, then both arms and the pistol on the back. F2. Here we've added F3. The one thing, I guess, to keep in mind is that the strap of the chest should flow nicely, and that's how you know it's in the proper place. Now we've added F1. This one's a little bit easier to attach because you have to connect it to both F2 and F3. A quick look at the nice seam on the back. For the legs, we're going to add F8 over here and F7 here. As you can see by the holes, you can't really accidentally switch those 2 up. There's only one way they'll fit. F8 and F7, which looks kind of silly until you realize he's running. Okay, F4 is his right hand holding the pistol. F6 is the left hand with the hand signals, and the pistol goes on his back over his left shoulder. Here's F4. The angle's a little weird, so just copy what I have. And there's F4. And here's F5 on the back. Tull, Dead Silent is done. Yes, obviously the most important part is Sergeant Walter, but also you probably want to assemble Harold. There's really no difficult part of this. I guess the first bit I assembled on Harold was maybe a little bit difficult, but once I figured out that you got to focus on the strap to get it in correctly, it was all easy. And here's the entire Unconventional Tactics box. Not too many difficult spots. The worst part is probably the front axle on the Bally-Hoo bucket. Everything else, once I figured out where it was supposed to go, was relatively simple to put together. Very pretty stuff.